Assalamu alaikum. This is the voice of Lee Humble on the podcast The Journey, Chapter 3, on Being Good, Book 3, What It Means to Be Good. In the previous chapter, we made the effort to share some thoughts around the topic being good. For most of us want to be associated with good. Everybody wants to be categorized under the category of good people. Even those doing evil want to believe they are doing some good. It is for this purpose that we find it necessary to talk about this all-important aspect of human nature. Unfortunately, many of us assume we are good without necessarily knowing what it means to be good. So we end up signing up for something that we really don't understand. And in the absence of understanding, people perish. This is why you sign up to be good to a person or a cause. And at the slightest turbulence, at the slightest instant of disappointment, rejection, or heartbreak, you give up. So we have a generation of good people, supposedly, who easily give up on people, who easily give up on purpose, simply because they did not truly understand what they were signing up to when they set out to be good. What does it mean to be good then? In fact, being good comes with its own advantages and disadvantages. It is by understanding holistically both the advantages that comes with being good and the disadvantages that comes with being good that a man can truly say, I am a good person. I made this statement in my previous chapter, and I say, you know you are good when you understand what it means to be good and decide to be good anyway. My friend, if you don't understand holistically what you are signing up to, believe me when I tell you, you will sign out so quickly. That is why you are unstable, because you started out without fully understanding what you were doing. So, what does it mean to be good? We have a list of things that comes with being good. And in the previous chapter, we shared 2, where we told you that being good means sacrifice. A person must be willing to sacrifice for the cause or the person he wants to be good to. And second, being good means being bad. Such a profound statement. How can being good and being bad be on the same boat? We had our share of explanation. Today, we want to set out by telling you the third point of what being good really means. My friend, if you set out to be good to a person or to be good to a cause, you are setting out to be disappointed. You are setting out to be heartbroken. You are setting out to be hurt. And I tell you, one of the most painful things in this world is to be hurt and heartbroken by the person you sacrificed everything for. Being disappointed by the person you have sacrificed yourself, your time, your resources for is the worst kind of experience. And indeed, it is for this experience that most people give up on people so easily. Let me ask you this question this instant. How easily do you give up on people? They may disappoint you. They may have broken your heart. How often do you give up on people? Do you bow out the moment or the instant of the slightest heartbreak or rejection or disappointment? Could it be that you were doing good for people so that you don't expect them to be bad towards you? If this is the case, then permit me to say that you truly didn't understand what you were doing to them in the first place. Truly good people who set out to do good to people don't care what those people do to them. Take the example of the life of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. That great man was never affected by the actions of his adversaries, for he took his adversaries as his potential friends and brothers, and indeed they became his brothers. Why would a person hurt a person who is only trying to be good to him? Have you ever wondered why? Why would your wife hurt you despite all the effort you try to do to make her happy? Why would a friend betray you? Why would a brother break your heart? Why is it that people you do your best to be good to always come back hurting you? You see, if a person doesn't know what you are doing for him, definitely he will never understand and he will hurt you. He will break your heart. What did the Prophet Sallallahu bring to humanity? Ladies and gentlemen, that man brought hidayah, he brought guidance. He brought light after hundreds and thousands of years of darkness. And what did people do? They stoned him, they cursed him, they made him the most wanted man in the world. They drove him out of his house, out of his land. They almost killed him. They stripped him of all property. But what did he do in return? He told the angel, "Let them be, for they do not know." Mark the word ignorance, because when a person doesn't know, he is ignorant. The prophets was trying to save them, but they only saw threat. They only saw a person who is trying to hurt them. They didn't understand. And if you're trying to be good to a person who doesn't understand what you are trying to be good to him, if you are trying to be good to a person who doesn't understand what you are truly trying to do for him, that person becomes a dangerous person. But if you do understand, then his actions wouldn't affect your good nature. So you have to understand why you are being good to a person, whether he is worth it. Mark the word worth. Have you ever wondered why some people will never find goodness in their life? Because they are not worth it. In this world, everything is built on worth. You don't get everything you want, you get what you are worth. When I came to understand this concept of worth, I stopped playing the victim at every negative instant that happened to my life. If a person would understand that he doesn't get what he wants, he only gets what he is worthy of. Perhaps the lady that rejected you, one thing might have happened is either you are not worthy of her or she is not worthy of you. It is not your dignity to go back and say, no, this girl is bad, this girl is that. No. Probably you are not worthy of her. Here is what you can do in the instance of rejection. Of course, rejection is painful, but if a person could just sit back and realize, oh, perhaps I am not worthy of what I was chasing after. Why don't I build my worth? The moment you begin to look at it from this angle, then every instant of rejection becomes a valuable stage of your life to build worth. And people who build worth and add value to themselves get the most of the world, because the world is all about worth. The person you are trying to be good to, the first question you have to ask yourself, why am I being good to this person? For behind the why comes clarity, and in clarity you find strength, you find inspiration. And then everything the person does to you, it doesn't matter, because you know he did not understand. The Prophet Sallallahu was clear in his message. He saw the angel. He had the message in its absolute clarity. So people wanted to kill him. Yes, he saw them as ignorant people. They are worthy of saving. He wasn't angry at them because all he saw was victims. Patients, just the way a doctor would see a patient. The Prophet saw patients, sick people, people in need of him. A good father never threw away his child for being a stubborn child. For he understands he's only being a child. If I could just raise him better. No, many parents would say, no, this is a bad boy. He is, because you are a bad parent. Have you ever thought about it that way? Lenses, my friend, lenses. If you come to a conclusion that this person is worthy of my goodness, then you don't care what comes out of him. And indeed, you might be heartbroken along the way. But if you understand, that's it, no problem. So, being good means you will have to be disappointed, you will have to be rejected sometimes, and you will have to be ignored. And here is another thing that comes with being good. Being taken for granted. This is wonderful, isn't it? Being taken for granted. There is a high chance good people will be taken for granted. Yes, it happens most of the time. You are always fine. Whatever I do to him, he will be fine. He doesn't care how much he hurts your feelings. You will be fine. Let me tell you, if you are living with a person who can't respect your feeling, my friend, you are in a dangerous company. You will be taken for granted. Because all you can produce is good stuff. So they expect good stuff from you all the time. So they don't care how they treat you. They don't care what they do to you, because they say, oh, this person is always bringing the good stuff. They hurt you, say, oh man, it's Muhammad, it's fine. They take your feelings for granted. They take your kindness for granted. They take you for granted. And you know what? Good people take it. They don't care. They understand. Are you willing, or are you ready to be taken for granted by the people you want to be good to? The Prophet understood it. He never cared. Good people understood this. They never cared. The wives of the Prophet, the wife of the Caliph, the wife of great men, they took them for granted and they never cared. Why? Because they understood. Weak-minded people will always take you for granted. It's okay. Are you ready to do that? Moving forward, the last point I want to make in this package that comes with being good is a misconception that people always have. People think being good, or to be good, you have to be nice. Let me just repeat this. People have this understanding that every nice person is a good person. That you have to be nice before they can take you for a good person. What a delusion. I say, what a delusion. If you think this way, then probably that is why in most cases you are being disappointed. Let me just say this and listen to me and put it down. Take it wherever you are. It will guide you. Some of the nicest people in this world are the worst kind of people you can ever find. those people will screw your life while smiling at your face. Yeah, I have met some very nice people, but very evil in their actions. And by the same measure, I have met some very good people who don't smile at all. They don't smile, but they are good people. The people with the biggest smile have the greater tendency of screwing you up, of messing you up. And I'll just give you a few examples to bring close this understanding to you and myself. In the days of the Prophet Sallallahu, Alaihi Wasallam, in his early days of prophethood, this was a man who saw angel, spoken to the angel, given the greatest task of guiding humanity to the light after being under the darkness for so many centuries. Now he has come to save humanity, and he has actually communicated with the angel. So he was clear, and somehow he was being swayed by the Quraysh to stop his da'wah, to stop his purpose, to quit, because he was posing threats to them, right? They did all they could, but he wouldn't move. So they brought up a strategy, and they sent one of them eloquent communicators, and they summoned his uncle. They summoned him, and they were with all smiley faces, and they were saying, you see, tell him, if you could just drop this, we would give him the most beautiful ladies, the most beautiful of them. See, we would even make him the richest man. You understand? Oh, we would even make him a king. And they were all smiling, and they were all giving him the goodies. Why would they do that? They do that because they want to make a trade. And the trade they wanted to make was to take something most valuable thing from him. And once they have taken that, they were going to screw his life up. The Prophet understood that. He said, no, these people think they are clever. They want to smile at my face, be nice to me, mark the word nice. You see, they tried being nasty, it didn't work. Now they want to be nice to me so that they can overcome me. The Prophet wouldn't budge. I'm telling you, some of the nicest people you can find are only trying to screw you up. You have to be very careful. Take a look around you. Let me tell you this. If a businessman is becoming so nice to you, you should be worried. If a businessman, or some politician for that matter, is becoming so nice and so smiley and all, you should be worried. These people don't sell their smiles for free. Nice people have the tendency of screwing you up while smiling at your face. There is one thing I don't understand about this cigarette, tobacco company. We all say, hooray, let's end tobacco. And then they will sell you a pack of cigarettes, and they will write at the back of it, smoking kills. Like they want to help you. And they will make advertisement. Say, hey, I am selling something that kills you. If you want it gone, you don't care. You just stop producing that product. That's all. How many times do you see people on your television screens selling you products that hurt your life, but then they will find the choicest and the most beautiful ladies, all smiley, all beautiful, and selling you stuff that will kill you? How many times? Be very careful of nice people. However, good people, sometimes they don't smile at all. Have you ever seen a soldier on the battlefield smiling in the face of the enemy? It doesn't happen. Hey, come, let's fight, and he is smiling. It never happens. But he is doing something good for his people, defending his people. The greatest trainers are not nice trainers. They would see you crying. They will see you shedding tears. But then they will say, hey man, give me one push more. Give me one more push. And you'll have to. But they are good trainers, ain't it? They don't care whether you smile or no. They don't care what you think of them. They care of the good stuff they are doing to you. Some good men don't smile at all. But if you have a good person and a nice person at the same time, that will be best, isn't it? But in this life, you don't always have it that way. Why should we be good at all? Now that is an interesting question, isn't it? Well, somebody has to. We are who we are because some people have been good to us. Because some people didn't give up on us. We are who we are today because of people that came into our lives who didn't care what people say about us, who believed in us, who sacrificed for us, who held our hands when we fell and they pulled us up, who'd been good to us. That is how we are who we are. Don't you think you are in debt to be good to someone else? Why must you be good? Nobody will have a good life without someone being good in his life. The question is, whom will you be good to? And you must be good to somebody. And you don't care what the others will say. Make a choice. Stay on it. Be disciplined. Close your ears. And don't listen to the noise that say people are not worthy of you. That is why you have to be good. If we are seeking the good world, it begins by the simple goodness of humankind. You don't have to be good to everybody, but at least be good to somebody. And if that somebody is good to somebody else, imagine the better world we will create. That is why you must be good. You don't necessarily have to be good to me, I understand. In fact, if you are good to everybody, I will thank you and I will take you for a fool. Make a choice. Be good to somebody. For people have been good to you. That is why you are who you are today. And my God, Allah is good to everybody. Let us create a good world. Let us trust again. Let us sacrifice again. Let us make the life of other people good. In order that we may create a good world, a better world. Thank you. End of chapter 3. This is the podcast of The Journey. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.